Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to my review on Tiki. I understand that she's really buggy right now. I believe she has at least 5 bugs, but most of them are HP related and don't have anything to do with her numbers in terms of her mods, so I thought it would be fine to just review her now. So Tiki is an iconic Fire Emblem character. She has appeared in like 9 different games or something like that. I'm really happy that she made it in, but she didn't quite meet expectations, let's just say that. Anyways, Tiki is a water dagger and a very unique one at that. She has a Dragon Drive kit similar to Aldred and Belina, but there's a slight difference. The latter two Dragon Drive characters don't really shapeshift, instead they go Super Saiyan. In Tiki's case, it's like a mix of both. She transforms into a dragon but retains most of the Dragon Drive mechanic. Both her forms shares the same health pool, so that means you cannot use her dragon form to dragon tank stuff. Meaning, if her dragon dies, then she dies. She doesn't transform back into human form, so that kind of sucks. At least in dragon form, she does get some type of defensive bonus. If I recall correctly, it's a 50% damage reduction while in the divine dragon form. So if you were to use her in a 4 DPS comp in like Hybrid and Hilda trials, then it may be worthwhile to use Chocolatiers on her so that she can transform before the initial blast to reduce the damage and survive. Also, it's important to note that Dragon Drive characters can maintain dragon form for a very long time because they usually have some type of skill or skills that increases the Dragon Drive gauge. There's some abilities that work and do not work on her. I'm gonna be clear here, I don't really know for sure which dragon abilities affect the past Dragon Drive characters like Aldred and Belina, since I didn't really study those characters all that much, but I do know what affects Tiki. Apparently Dragon Claws and Dragon Damage do not work on Tiki. However, Dragon Haste should work on Tiki, especially considering the fact that Dragon Haste is one of her CoBilities, but Dragon Haste on her is bugged and Cygames are working on fixing it currently. Before we move on to skills, I want to briefly talk about her unique attack combo in human form. She's a dagger, right? And daggers are usually really fast and mobile. Tiki is not like that at all. Her combo is fluid, however it's quite slow compared to regular dagger animations, and it's really awkward trying to incorporate force strikes in between her attacks. I'm pretty sure all you do on her is C5 or tap 5 times because there's almost no end lag at the end of C5 and it transitions well into the next C5 combo. So yeah, that's kind of like a quick summary on the main parts of her kit. I'll talk more about her dragon form mods later, but for now let's dive into her human form mods. So there's Divine Wings and Dragon Veiler. Divine Wings 2248 SP, very low cost. Deals 1 hit of 376% water damage around her and raises the dragon gauge by 260 points. Keep in mind that Tiki only needs 560 points in order to shapeshift, so that means she only needs to use skill 1 twice before she can transform. It's best that she can transform as soon as possible because her human form is very weak. Dragon Veiler, her skill 2, costs 7868 SP. A little bit on the higher side, it fills dragon gauge by 600 points, so only one use of this is required in order to shapeshift. You probably aren't going to use this skill very often if you aren't running Chocolatiers because Tiki will be able to get off 2 skill 1s first before skill 2 even fills. It is pretty useful though for when you aren't able to maintain Dragon Drive and transform back into human form, then you can just use Dragon Veiler and go back into dragon form immediately. And speaking of dragon form, let's take a look at those mods real quick. So Divine Wings turns into Breath of Fog and it looks like Hybrid and Hilda's breath animation, 3480 SP and deals 1 hit of 790% water damage and inflicts frostbite. When she is in dragon form, her attack combo is 3 hits and she gains a total of 1160 SP, so 3 full combos are required to fill up this skill. Honestly, the mods on this skill aren't that impressive. 790% is quite low and underwhelming. On the bright side though, at least it inflicts frostbite. There aren't many characters that can inflict frostbite right now. Of course, that probably won't be the same story when Fire Agido is released, but yeah, nonetheless, it's great for those newer players that are still farming Hybrid and Hilda trials. Frostbite will give your team a boost in damage when used alongside Frostbite and Punisher prints or abilities. Now skill 2 turns into Divine Dragon Blow. Costs 5800 SP, so that's 5 C5s in order to fill. This is pretty much a copy paste of Hybrid and Hilda's dive bomb attack. It deals 1 hit of 1205% water damage and the damage is increased to 1446% versus frostbitten foes. The mods on this one seems a bit more fair, especially the bonus one on frostbitten foes. It's great that her skill 1 applies frostbite because she's always going to use skill 1 before skill 2, That basically nearly guarantees that her skill 2 will get the bonus damage. If you look at the mods on both her skills, it's not very impressive. I expected more from her just like everybody else, so it kind of sucks that she's just kind of somewhere in between average and above average. Everyone expected her to be strong since she's in her own banner, which sort of like hyped her up, you know? Tiki's damage right now should be around Mitsuba's. I remember on day 1 I tested both characters out in Mackerel Gauntlet and I felt like they outputted the same amount of damage. Well, according to the damage calculator now, they are nearly identical in damage output. You just gotta make sure that you land all of Tiki's Divine Dragon skills in order to maintain Dragon form, because that's where all of her damage is coming from. Anyways, moving on to her CoBilities, I guess you can consider this as the highlight of her kit. Very much like Peony, Tiki is probably mainly going to be used on the bench just for her CoBilities. She has standard attack damage increased by 20%. This is going to be good for any character that deals most of their damage through standard attacks. Examples include Durant, Pitbull, buffers like Tobias, Galliuden, and I guess all the staff characters as well, as long as they have an open slot. It's definitely a good CoBility and will be very useful moving forward. Dragon Haste is kind of like whatever is 20%, which is 2% higher than Pitbull's and Nurse Aileen's. Abilities are straightforward too, so I'm just going to breeze through them. The first ability basically just allows her to transform into Divine Dragon form and explains some of its mechanics. This is also where it states that damage taken is reduced by 50% while in Divine Dragon form. Burn Res is Burn Res, and Frostband Puncher is obviously great for Tiki because she can innately afflict Frostbite. So overall, Tiki is quite underwhelming, especially considering her situation. Again, I realize that she's bugged right now, but none of the bugs really affects her damage output unless she's equipped with conditional HP prints. Once the bugs are fixed, she's only going to be tankier, that's about it. For where she stands currently, her personal DPS isn't noteworthy. It doesn't stand out. She's like a slightly above average character in an element overall that is really weak at the moment. All of that aside though, even if I knew all of this, I still would have 100% summoned for her no matter what because she's Tiki. She's actually a really fun character to play, in particular her dragon form. She can still perform well in Hyper and Hilda trials, which I know nobody runs, but for those that are new, just know that she is more than viable in HBH. I would consider her as a quote good character for now, but she won't be relevant in the near future until she either gets a mana spiral or some sort of update to her kit. Her CoBility is great though, it has great potential moving forward, so I would definitely recommend considering summoning her just for her CoBility alone. It's not really a CoBility that's universally good, but it's good enough for it will be an instant slot in on certain characters. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this review. Let me know, what do you guys think about Tiki? I would love to hear your guys' opinions, so please do make sure to comment down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
頑張る終わりやっちゃうよやっ